Good day, ladies and gentlemen. So in this particular video, I'm going to be teaching you the CRT trading strategy. Okay, so there are different ways to go about it. Some people use a particular time, in order to trade the CRT, but what I'll be teaching you is the general concept behind it. Okay, the ideology behind the CRT. Okay, so some traders tend to complicate this CRT model, but it's a very simple model. Okay, and the ideology is all about the fact that every candle is a range on its own. So every candle is a range on its own. Let's say you have a candle like this. All right, this candle as you're seeing right here is a range that has an upper level and a lower level. Okay, so the general idea is once the low gets swept and price does not close below the low and price closes above this low, the next draw on liquidity would be this high. As simple as that. So what we are looking to do is to actually trade towards these targets, okay, towards that high. That's the idea. And in the reverse case, let's say you have a candle this way. As I said before, the high and the low of that candle has to be marked out because every candle is a range. Okay, then peradventure the high of that candle gets taken out, but the candle that took out that high did not close above the high, showing us that it's just a liquidity sweep. In such a scenario, our next draw on liquidity where price would like to go to will definitely be this low right here. So price will want to take out this low. So the advantage of the CRT model is it gives you an objective. You know the direction the price would want to go to, so it makes your take profit position very, very clear. You know that, okay, if the high of the range of the candle range has been taken, the directional bias is definitely downward, so price is going to be targeting the low of that candle range. Whereas if it's the low that was taken first and the candle that took the low did not close below the low, which means it's just a sweep of the liquidity below that low, the next target point would be the high of the candle range. Very, very simple. I'm going to show you step-by-step process on how we take advantage of the CRT to actually formulate trading opportunities. Okay, so once you understand the basic concept, you on your own as a smart trader, you can then tweak it to fit your style of trading, whether you are a swing trader, day trader, or a scalper. Okay, so there's no one size fits all. You just understand the concept, then you blend it and tweak it based on backtesting to fit your own personality as a trader. Okay, so let me just draw this diagram for you to see the general concept. So I have this high and this low drawn out. Okay, then the next candle forms and you have something of this nature. You can see that the high of that candle has been swept, but the candle did not close beyond that high. Okay, so once the next candle opens, we are expecting something like this. We expect the low to be the next target to be taken out. All right, so this is a 3-candle system whereby you have your first candle. Okay, your first candle is this one right here, which determines your range. It's high and the low. Place horizontal lines on the high and the low of that first candle. That one is the one that determines your range. The next candle is your manipulation candle. The first candle is your accumulation. Okay, they call it the accumulation candle. The second candle is your manipulation because it manipulates as though it wants to move in a certain direction, but it does not move in that direction. In this case, it moved as though it wanted to move up. Okay, but it ended up closing below the range. Okay, so it's a manipulation candle. All right, so a lot of breakout traders would have been trapped. That's why they call it manipulation candle, because when it's pushed upwards and its body was still upwards, breakout traders would take that to be a sign that price wants to move in the upwards direction, so they would have taken buy trades and their SL will be below this level. Okay, and what ends up happening is that price just moves back into the range and closes within the range, definitely the stop losses of those breakout traders will be triggered. Okay, so they are going to lose this trade. That's why this is called a manipulation candle. Then the third candle is the distribution candle, which is the candle we are going to be trading. Okay, because this candle is the candle that's going to give us profit. It's going to push to our target, which is the next draw on liquidity, which is this low. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, now if the opportunity is for a sell setup like this one, this diagram I've drawn right here is for a sell setup. Okay, because we want to sell towards this low right here. So if you want to sell and your strategy is the CRT model, you are to sell above the open of the third candle. This third candle is the most important candle. Okay, these two candles just set the scene for us to trade this third candle. All right, you need to sell above the open of this candle, because once this candle opens, it will push up a bit. Okay, there's going to be a wick here. It's going to push up a bit. All right, it will push up a bit before it finally moves down. So while it's pushed up, you are going to be taking your trade in order to move in a downwards direction. Now, how are you going to know exactly where to enter this trade? Is it that it will just push up and you just enter randomly? No, you drop down to a lower time frame. Okay, if you're a scalper, you can combine 1 hour time frame with 5 minutes, which is the example I'm going to be showing you. Okay, 1 hour and 5 minutes, you can combine it. You can do your what's it called, you can do your back testing to see what works best for you. Okay, but you have to combine an higher time frame, what's it called, you have to combine higher time frame with lower time frame. The lower time frame is for the entry, the higher time frame is for you to see, for you to draw your boundary. Okay, the higher time frame will also show you this what's it called, this manipulation candle. You need to see it on the higher time frame. It is the third candle that will push you to the lower time frame. And why are you going to the lower time frame? You want to see the order block that's going to be above this third candle when it opens. So you check. Once you've spotted the order block, then you draw it out and you take a trade as price goes up to mitigate the order block before it finally starts pushing in the downwards direction. Okay, I'll show you example. So the reverse is the case when you are dealing with a buy setup. So for a buy setup, you're going to have something like this. Quickly, for a buy setup, you have something like this. This is your first candle. So you draw your horizontal line on the high and the low. The low is going to get taken out, but the candle will not close below the low, something like this. All right, you have your manipulation candle like that. Then finally you have a third candle that pushes to take the liquidity of the high. So when you're dealing with a buy setup, you are looking to actually take your buy trades below the open of the third candle. So as the third candle opens at this spot, it's going to come down a bit, which is where you want to be taking your buy trades. So it's more like you are taking the buy trade at the very, very nice spots before the candle pushes up, flips, and then gives you these profits, you know, to come and target this high. Okay, so it's a very good system once you understand what you're doing. Okay, so right now I'm on the 1 hour time frame, and I've already pointed out one particular what's it called, nice setup. So you have this right here. Look at this candle. This candle is my first candle, and I've drawn out the boundary. I can clearly see on this 1 hour time frame that the second candle did what? It swept the high and closed below the high. Okay, so it swept the high and closed below the high. It closed back into the range, which is, you know, a good setup for our CRT, which I just explained. Okay, hope you can see it. So I'm going to draw the boundary of the first candle. I've placed an horizontal line on the high of that first candle, and I've placed an horizontal line on the low of that first candle, which is my range. So I already know that the next draw on liquidity would be for price to come and take out this low. Okay, so for the third candle, which is this candle right here, which is the candle I'm going to be trading, I'm looking to take my sell trade above the open of the candle. Okay, so the candle opened right here on the body of this candle, right? It opened right here, then it's pushed up At that point where it's pushed up, that's where I want to take myself from. Then I'll trade all the way down to this low. Okay, so what I will do is this 1 hour time frame, I'm going to jump down to the 5 minutes. I'll jump down to the 5 minutes time frame. Then on the 5 minutes time frame, you're going to see an order block which I can use to trade to the downside. Now, in order for me to know, sorry, let me delete this. I want to place a vertical line on the second candle and also on the third candle. So when I move to my 5 minutes time frame, I'll know exactly where the second candle started and where the third candle started. Okay, so I don't confuse you guys. Okay, so now that I've placed my vertical lines on the second and third candle, I can then jump down to the 5 minutes time frame. If you are doing this in real time, like it's actually playing out currently, you don't need to be placing vertical lines. I only place these vertical lines because I don't want to get things mixed up when I go to the lower time frame. Okay, so let me go to the 5 minutes time frame. Now on the 5 minutes time frame, I simply need to scroll and look for where those vertical lines are. Okay, so you can see the importance of the vertical lines. They help me find exactly where I am going to. Okay, so these horizontal lines are simply showing you that candle range that I drew on the 1 hour time frame. This vertical line here shows you the beginning of the beginning of the second candle. Remember, how many 5 minutes candle is going to give you a 1 hour candle? How many is that going to be? I think that's about 12. Okay, because one candle right here is 5 minutes, while 1 hour candle is 60 minutes. So I think it's about 12 candles. So from here right now, all of these candles are all of these candles in here are the second candle. Okay, the second candle of our CRT. So what do you see happening? Price pushed up and closed above on the 5 minutes. This is where the breakout traders are going to be trapped. They quickly take buy trades. Oh, this candle closed above. But on the 1 hour time frame, you guys can see that this is just a liquidity sweep. So you have to be careful when you are trading only a lower time frame confirmation. Okay, so this is a break and close above. You take a buy trade, price ends up going downwards and stopping you out. Okay, but on the 1 hour time frame, we could clearly see that this is just a liquidity sweep. So market swept liquidity right here, and then the second candle ended up closing within this range, right? So this second vertical line shows me where my third candle started. But something very important I want you to take note of is, as the second candle is opening, as the third candle is opening right here, an order block has been printed here. This is an order block right here. So since I'm looking to sell, what did I tell you? If you're looking to sell, you want to sell above the open of the third candle. So I now have an idea of where the third candle will be pushing up to before finally giving us the sell to take out this low. And this is what is giving me the idea. I can see an order block right here. Okay, so this order block is where price would push up to when it opens before pushing in the downwards direction. So let's see what's played out. What do you see happening? What do you see happening right there? Price pushed up, price opened here for the third candle, it's pushed up into this order block, then pushed down, didn't completely clear out the low. Okay, it pushed up again, still touching that order block, showing you that that order block is a solid one, pushed up again into that order block, then finally fulfilled the mission. So the mission was accomplished right here, hitting our TP, which is this low. Very, very simple and straight to the point. Very, very simple and straight to the point. And remember, price is fractal. Price is fractal. I can decide to use 5 minutes time frame and 1 minute time frame in combination, because I can see a CRT forming right here. I don't know if you're seeing it. This is another CRT right here on the 5 minutes time frame. But for me to trade this CRT, I would need to drop down to 1 minute time frame, to a smaller time frame, because I can see that This candle, this red candle here is another range. Okay, is a range on its own again. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me draw out the range. This candle can be my first candle again. Okay, this candle can be my first candle, then this becomes my second candle. You can see that the low was swept, then price closed above the low. Okay, so this is my second candle. Now I'll be looking, since this is a buy trade, I'll be looking to take my buy below the open of the third candle. So I will need to drop down to my 1 minute time frame to see if there's an order block around here. It could be another block or an FVG that is just going to be below the open of this third candle, so that this third candle will push down into that fair value gap or order block before I'll take my buy trade. Then price is gonna expand to come and take out this high. As simple as that. That's what CRT is all about. The basic thing is for you to understand the concept. Once you understand the concept, you can play around with your back testing to determine what combination of time frames works best for you based on your favorite pair. All right, so I believe you've gotten value in this video. Please subscribe to the channel. If there's any question you want to ask me, you can ask in the comment section. If you are a new viewer, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.